Good afternoon, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okon. I am talking about work in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much for being there. And people work for a living. We are talking about work in the United Kingdom. If we talk about work, as I have always maintained, work in the United Kingdom is similar to situations across the world, in countries where you live. And so we are a one world, we are a community. Therefore, what happened in one country happened in another. And also, if you are not affected by the issues I have been raising, watching this video, watch with the rest of the video, and they are connected, this is a continuation. Like I have said before, if you are affected in one way or not affected in one way, and the world as we live today is to do with taking responsibilities for your life. And you may or may not want to take responsibility, but if you are a child, if you are an adult, if you are an elderly, you know taking responsibility is a sensible thing. If you don't take responsibility for your life, nobody else will take responsibility for your life. So the issue of employment is extremely important because it is the most essential element of our life. If we work, then we earn a living. Is a source of our livelihood in the United Kingdom, at least. Also in the United Kingdom, apart from work, I have mentioned the source of income as money being given from the government. And I've also said, although the government has been trying to help the people of the United Kingdom because of politics and other issues, the government is shutting down. Literally, the British government in the past, in the decades past, took over the running of this country, and now it is giving back our country. But you see, the country doesn't reach everyone. It reaches only a few who have money to buy it back from the government, as in selling, as in privatization. People need to understand the meaning of privatization. It means the government took your country from you, and the government, in the process of taking your country, promised to look after you. Because if your country is taken away as British people by the government, then the government is also saying, we are the government, we are going to look after you in every way. So the British people worked to develop the wealth of the nation, to develop the economy, to develop society, what we have, technology. But the government is now saying, we have ruled over you enough. We are now letting you go free. But you see, they have not given us back our lands and our country. They are giving it to the multimillionaires and the multimillionaires who are the few, maybe 5%, and increasingly less and less because of the market system. Whoever buys the country owns the country, as in privatization. And if you think privatization may be one thing or another, leave a comment below, let me know that privatization is what you think. But it is actually the selling of the country, which the government took from the British people, selling it now to the few who have money. If you don't have money, you're not going to buy, say, maybe land, property, which is somewhere to live. Now the British people have been left without any country. That is a situation in America, in Asia, in Africa. So the government has taken the world and sold it off to a certain class of people, maybe 1% or 2% or 5% of the population across the globe and in Britain. And this is where we are heading with the market system, with privatization. I've been mentioning this. And the solution now is those in power who own our country privately to become humane and look after us the way the government used to look after us. If you go to a shop to buy food, you should be given food free of charge if you don't have money. and that's what the cost of living presents as a crisis, which is what I've been talking about. People may or may not understand, but that is the reality, that is the facts, which we one way or the other we have to deal. But if we practice evil, if we do wrong, if we steal, if we kill, if we destroy the people of this country because you are in power, then the wicked will always have to suffer. Because if it doesn't matter how rich you are, if you are multi-billionaire or multi-billionaire and you practice wickedness, you allow people to die because you have taken away their country. I mean, people cannot survive without a country. Because where will they get the food? Where will they get housing? Where will they get health care? Where will they get work? Where they will get livelihood? People work for a living. And if they don't have a space to work, we used to have industries, used to have factories, they are closing down. Technology is coming, but technology is being weaponized as tools of oppression. The law, the state instruments are being weaponized as instruments of oppression and violence, as opposed to peace. That's why there is no peace. Right now, there is, as always, there is no peace for the wicked. I keep saying this, and I will be saying it over and again. Leave a comment below if you think what I'm saying is making sense. Also, leave a comment below if you think what I'm saying is not making sense. But I'm entitled to speak the truth, because someone like me, although I am not perfect, I'm still human. Because every responsible human being, even if you are rich or poor, your primary responsibility is to tell the truth. You have to tell the truth to yourself. You have to tell the truth to everybody else. If you lie to yourself and lie to other people, then you are going to suffer more than those who tell the truth. Those who tell the truth will have the mechanism to survive more than people who lie. And this is also the truth. And the truth is you. The truth is me. Because we are humans. If you are human, you are the truth. And in what I repeatedly have called the cultural economy, I think I will be repeating this line of discussion. I am repeating it, and I have the opportunity to use YouTube channel to give this message to whoever is listening. And people go to YouTube for different reasons. I go for similar reasons, but also I go for other reasons to do what I like doing, what I think it is important, what I join YouTube to do things I believe to be important. That is telling the truth, telling the world about me, about humanity. That when I talk of me, I talk about humanity, and that is what I mean by the truth. The truth is humanity. Yeah, humanity forms the cultural economy, which means valuing humanity, accepting who you are as a person, and also valuing it and respecting humanity, and prioritizing humanity. This point is fundamental in my beliefs in producing what type of value I hold. And I'm not afraid. I don't apologize to anybody for speaking it, because it is my life and it is also your life if you think what I'm talking about is right. But if you think it is wrong, then it is your death. In life, you either live or die. You know, when we talk about death, we're not talking about physical death. We are talking about information. We are talking about ideas. We are talking about ingenuity, our capacity to survive into the next generation, our living information, which are key for the next generation to use to preserve humanity as an order. So that is the meaning of continuity, the meaning of perpetuity, and that is my role, to tell the truth so that people who listen to me will inherit it when I'm no longer there. Because we live temporarily, we suffer from something called mortality. I believe in humanity, because if we live true human beings, if we live true human beings to inherit the earth, they will find a way of bringing us back to life. This is good science. I'm not just saying fantasy from my head. This is the scientific, because we are the scientific truth and facts also proven that humanity, anything existing, it's a form of information. It's data. We are actually data, which if collected can be, it doesn't die. Data, information do not die. So you can, you know, data on me, if I die and I'm buried, the information on me is actually preserved. So death is a type of preservation. This is something which we need to understand. This is science, not fiction. It's not fantasy, it's fact. And we do research. If you watch the BBC, if you listen to Radio 4, you listen to information like that, you look for idea of immortality, regeneration, things like that. These are things people are doing. Because, you know, if people want to do something, they will achieve it. The problem is that if they achieve something and they are culturally uneducated, even if humanity bring people back from the dead, there will be no peace. Death or mortality is one thing. It's a problem which is specific. It cuts our life short. But scientists are working to stop that, to treat immortality, to treat mortality and turn mortality into immortality. Immortality means you live forever. If you die, you are brought back to life. There's something called regeneration. I don't know what it is very well, but I know roughly that what it means is that, for example, if you die, your data, information of your life, we talk about animals, trees, anything is information. That is what it is, what we are. So when we die, our data can be preserved, our data can be used to bring us back to life, which is nice. We achieve immortality. These borders on science fiction, don't get me wrong, this is but partially factual. It's a prospect. You see, the process is ongoing, and that's why I've been talking about continuity of humanity. When we experience mortality, there is a possibility using science and technology to produce immortality. Immortality, which means people live forever. If they die, they will be brought back to life, which is nice. Some people don't like that. Right now, scientists are experimenting with longevity. I mean, people, the idea of aging. There are tests being done that life can be extended 3 times by 3, generations. I mean, like if we live 100 years, our lives potentially can be generated, extended up to 300 years. These are now research being done on aging. There appears to be, I'm not a scientist, there appears to be, I don't have the information to add, I want from main media. This information already out there. If you were diligent, you can look for it. If I am diligent, I will look for it. And if you're interested to explore such curiosities, you never know, I might actually do a research and find it written somewhere and explain to you, even though it might be complicated, but we need only to know that there are researchers, scientific research going on to try and deal with the issue of mortality. When people die, when people don't die, I'm talking about life. because everything we do, even the work I'm talking about, is about human life. Nothing we do maintain relevance if we don't connect it to our to our existence as humanity. I have been talking about this from the beginning of this program, and I said I will be carrying on while looking at different aspects. I will be talking mainly about the law and also policy, maybe other aspects of society, maybe how people relate, maybe marriage, relationship, going forward, because we are less than 2 years. It's a program. This channel was created in 2012, but I started work on it in 2022, 2 years ago now. In December we are going to be 2 years. We are still a small program, and I work the way I work, and the channel is growing, but growing slowly, very slowly. But we will get there, and whatever I do with delight, with happiness, with joy, and also with pride, because it is a privilege, and is a trend. YouTube is trending, social media is trending, even the main media is joining it. So I would say, if you have the opportunity, everybody should be a YouTuber or a TikToker or Instagrammer, whatever you call yourself, a Facebooker. We are more attuned to Facebook more than YouTube. So let us look at a situation when we are being paid statutory sick pay, because when you're sick, the government have said that your employer should pay you statutory sick pay. So I've been discussing the details of how the policy works, and it can be easy, it can be complicated, because normally experts are the ones who talk about this kind of topic. So if you are curious to know, especially if you are in need, you are in maybe you fall sick, you're working for a living, the best approach is actually to go and speak to professionals about it, people who are trained, who are experts on this, because you see, employment law is very specific, it's a very technical area of practice. You can, if you have money, you can pay. If you have a dispute with your employer, you can pay a lawyer, but if not, then you can go to legal advisors when they're providing free legal advice, wherever they provide in the United Kingdom. The main advisors are Citizen Advice, but also other organizations like ACAS can also support. If you are a member of trade union, you can also get help from trade union. They may connect you to their lawyers. So these are the kind of thing. But you can go online also and read for yourself, gov.uk, and also a public website of Citizen Advice. If you don't live in the United Kingdom, I keep saying this all the time, if you don't live in the United Kingdom, you can ignore this information, but information is important. Even if you don't live in the United Kingdom, what happened in the United Kingdom might be quite similar to what is happening in your country. So you can choose to ignore what is happening in the UK, but if I were you, I would pay attention to what happened in the United Kingdom, because most likely it's going to be similar to what happened in your country. One of the most dangerous tendencies is being ignorant, not knowing what you need to know. I speak to many people. One of the weaknesses I discover is that even the basic here in Britain or in Africa or anywhere, you speak to people, you are shocked the level of ignorance, because people's attitude to learning these days is very negative, but you win some, you gain some. A lot of people take responsibility, and these are the ones who should come together and work together to bring the peace, because we need peace in the world, and in here in the United Kingdom, including whether Northern Ireland or Europe, the Middle East, Asia, Africa, wherever there is conflict. It is the humans are the ones who have been creating conflict. Here in the United Kingdom, if you are running away from something, you probably would be running away from a fellow human being. We call each other stranger, and we are, because we are very dangerous. It's so easy to hide behind poverty. And I speak of poverty in a technical sense of the word, but a lot of people, when you talk to them about poverty, you have to be very careful, because British people especially, are also foreigners who living in Britain, do not believe they are poor until they cannot pay their bills, until they are facing indebtedness. And if you're buying your home and you're getting credit, you're most likely to be poor without even knowing, because you are in debt automatically, because your home is a necessity. You live in it, but you're probably owing a mortgage company to the tune of maybe 0.5 million on a 3 or 4 bedroom house, and you're in debt. Every penny you work, it doesn't matter how well you are paid, you're in debt, you are poor. That's the definition of poverty. That's why the logic of public sector was and still is for the government to provide affordable homes. I have said repeatedly that the best way to provide housing is through the public sector. The private sector cannot provide housing. The private sector can provide property for people who can afford, people who have money. But for the majority of the population, the government needs to provide public housing for them, and beginning with renting. Now I'm going backwards, because where we are now, the public sector is sort of no longer there. What is left is just residue. The government is focused on one thing: shutting down the public sector. And the reason the public sector is being sold away is so that it is destroyed. Because somehow somebody concluded the public sector is not good for the country. And the British people seem to like that. Either they know it or they are not aware. It's up to the British people. It's not only happening in Britain. Whatever is happening in the UK is happening across the globe. Something called globalization. I've been talking about it over and over. Thank you so much, everybody who have been watching. And thank you also people who haven't been watching. I believe that one day we will all agree to work together and see our best to bring peace, which is my priority, talking about the different things on this program. Stay tuned, continue watching. Good afternoon, welcome to my YouTube channel. So we're talking about employment in the United Kingdom. We talk about pay, like I have said. And if you think your employer is wrong, sometimes you try to get statistic pay. Your employer refuses. If you think your employer is wrong, you can challenge your employer, and you can find out how to challenge your employer online, gov.uk, Citizen Advice, and all the other organizations. You can also speak to professionals like lawyers or legal advisors. So also sometimes you are actually treated unfairly, or maybe you think you have been treated unfairly also, and normally people feel really bad about asking for a sick pay, and also employer make employees feel as if they have done something wrong by asking for sick pay. And you shouldn't actually feel bad. You should really know this is your right, and if you are being treated unfairly, then it is not your fault. Some employer try to make employee feel bad about asking for sick pay, and you shouldn't feel like that. And you need to know, that's why it's important to know your right, so that you're confident about understanding the situation of one kind or another. So if you see you have been treated unfairly, disciplined, or dismissed, you might be able to take action. It's usually better if you have an formal chat with your employer first, and if this doesn't resolve your issues, you can check how to deal with grievance at work. You're talking about grievance at work. We have discussed this about grievance. If your employer is risking you because you ask for sick pay, you can check online how to deal with disciplinary action at work, because sometimes you're actually punished for asking for something which you are entitled to, like sick pay. So you can check what extra money you could get. There are sometimes all sorts of payments all over the place. It's your responsibility to make sure you get everything. So if your income is reduced while you're off sick, you might be able to claim benefits. There are money paid by your employer as in normal payment, but also when you are sick, you might be getting some money from your employer, but there are also benefits. We discussed benefits in the previous videos, which is the primary source of income in the United Kingdom. If you don't work, if you work for a living, because there are different categories of work, and the system is so broken, they are scattered all over the place. It is so complex. So you should first check if you can get universal credit. Universal credit is the primary source of money given by the government for people who need it. We discussed universal credit previously. If you are to know one thing about benefit, which is, if you live in the United Kingdom, you know welfare benefit, what it is. If you don't live in the United Kingdom, for a matter of curiosity, it's a type of money given by the government, which is given, you don't pay back. It's not necessarily a grant, but it's like statutorily given. It is given as of right. If you are eligible, if you are entitled to it, then you should be able to get it. You cannot be denied. It's guaranteed. It is actually to substitute when you don't have any income, or the law of the land say you need to live on such a money. So a lot of people have different ideas about benefit, welfare benefit. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are about benefit, especially universal credit. If you're not eligible for universal credit, you can check other benefits you can get. Like I said previously, there are so many different types of benefits scattered all over the place. I've been repeating this again over and over, which is, if you watch my video, my prayer is you watch it, because I think it is extremely important for you to know these things, because they are real And if you fall sick, if you lose your home, if you lose a job, I spoke of technology, that a lot of people in the next 20 to 50 years will be losing their jobs, and they may have no income at all. And if they know how to get benefit, because there will still be benefit for the foreseeable future, but things are changing very fast now. So people should start thinking outside the box. Technology is coming and it's going to take all the work. If you think about computer is a type of technology. And if you think of admin work, if you think about retail work, if you think about hospitality, transportation, I'll talk about artificial intelligence, driverless car, autonomous vehicles. Vehicles include airplanes, trains, boats, and land vehicles also, like a car, like a truck, like a bus, traveling on land, on sea. These are vehicles. On air, which is such as airplane. Airplane is a type of vehicle. So these are being automated. They will be intelligent. They can, like drones. Drones are now operated remotely. The next step, they are going to fly independently. You don't even need to operate it. You just program it and maybe speak to a drone and say, go from maybe Africa to America and drop these people there and come back. And you can do the same thing with a vehicle on land or on the sea. So people working in the transportation industry will be unemployed. Almost, I don't know how many people. There are about 8 billion people in the world. Potentially all of them will be unemployed. They will have no income. When technology matures, when technology comes of age, that means the machine will be doing the work and people will be receiving goods and services, because the only reason people want money to buy goods and services. If machine can produce goods and services, there will be no need for money. There will be no need for the economy. There will be no need, because economy depends on trade. The logic of economy is about trade. There will still be wealth. How to manage wealth and also use wealth may not be through economic system, because you don't sell and buy, then there is no economy. That's our understanding. Leave a comment below if you understand the concept and the meaning of economy differently. That's how I see economy, because it involves trade. Trade is actually selling goods and services or products. And if machine is now producing it at no extra cost, because you see people sell so that they recover the cost of production and make profit. They make profit because they want to get rich financially, maybe, but the money they want to get is to buy wealth. But if the machine is now producing wealth free of charge, because it is so efficient that it produces products, goods and services, and no extra cost. There's no need to sell them, because you don't even need money anymore. You don't need to sell anything, because these machines will be producing. I see that happening maybe in the next 100, 200, 500 years. But beginning now, this will be changing the way we relate to work and also to wealth. With the result that there will be some prices to pay. We will be having to pay some prices by being unemployed. If we are not lucky, we are going to create a crisis instead. But we need this transformation to be peaceful, so we have to pay attention to our culture. We have to respect one another and don't use technology as a weapon of war, weapon of mass destruction. We want technology to be a weapon of mass construction, mass construction, or whatever, as as an instrument of peace. Not weapon of mass destruction. We should not weaponize wealth. We should not weaponize anything at all. It doesn't matter how good such a thing is. if it is efficient, if it is effective, the moment we weaponize it, it's going to be effective in destroying us. And we face extinction if we don't learn our culture quickly and start producing peace. There is a clear difference between development and culture. Culture means peace. We know how to live peacefully because we know how to value humanity. We prioritize humanity. It's about peace. If we fail to bring peace now, we concentrate on development, which creates wealth, which manages the economy. We produce government systems, system of law, system of society. You name it, wealth will be weaponized, technology will be weaponized, and wealth and technology will come together to destroy humanity very, very quickly. Whether you are rich or poor, you will not survive, because without peace, we are done. Anything we make, as long as it's effective, it's going to be effective negatively to destroy us. This is a fact. Leave a comment below if you think I am talking sense. If you talk about nonsense, leave a comment below. Thank you so much. And I don't remember requesting you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe for it to grow freely. You don't pay anything, it takes seconds. Click like, click notification bell, and leave a comment below. And if you watch it, share with family and friends. Don't enjoy it alone. Be selfless, because these things are free. Now, let us still go back to our specific. I will talk about other types of benefit if you need long-term help doing everyday tasks. If you need a long-term help, they talk about long-term. If say maybe 3 months, 6 months, you've been sick for 3 months, you're needing help to do everyday tasks, and also getting around. You might also be able to get personal independence payment. I've spoken about personal independence payment before, and it's a type of sickness benefit which is non-means tested. We discussed the concept of non-means testing, and leave a comment below if you want to know more about what personal independence means. And if you are struggling, if you're sick, you are having a long-term health condition which you need long-term producing the need for long-term help doing everyday tasks. We talk about everyday tasks like cooking, maybe getting around, talking to people, visiting people, work, play, your normal day-to-day tasks, and also mobility, moving around. You might be able, the word is you might, but in practice, it is so difficult to get this benefit that the government needs to change the law immediately if it wants to help people, because there's no point telling people there is help when there is actually no help. A lot of these things I'm talking about doesn't exist in practice because it is so complicated to get it. The conditions for getting it makes it impossible to get it, including legal aid, including help. I have been talking about. So if you have a member of parliament, an MP, try to talk to them. If you have local leaders who can have influence, even celebrities, if there are celebrities in your area, maybe they can go and talk to the government. You need to engage with the government. You need to really, especially if you're a young person, instead of going and wasting your time on the street, go to the library, get a few trusted friends, and form a group of young people, a group of, if you want to go to riot on the street, I have no opinion on it, but I think it is a very wrong thing to do. If you don't need one foreigner in your country, you can go and riot and kill people. That is your problem. But you know you are a problem and not a solution. But I will say, adopt a peaceful method. You need to speak out. If you think something is wrong, you need to discuss with young people, fellow young people. You need to discuss with families and friends and form into political unit. Be involved in politics. Politics means knowing your right, knowing your responsibilities, and speaking out the truth based on evidence. You have the evidence. You don't need expert. You are the expert about your life. Speak out. If you choose to keep quiet, then you will be counted with the wicked. Because the government can be very wicked without knowing it is wicked. Because if you shut down means of livelihood, like you tell people there is help, housing is closed down because it's so difficult. It's just impossible to get public housing. It's impossible to get healthcare in the UK now because the government has made it so complicated. You phone the hospitals, your phone is not answered. If it is answered, you don't get a doctor's appointment at all. People are used to talking about waiting lists, but it's more than that. It's worse than that now because you don't even get to speak to your GP. You cannot see your GP now in your practice, especially if you are a government patient. You know, you are the National Health Service patient. You don't see the doctor at all because the government is not funding the general practitioner. They don't have money. The reason the government is not funding them, because if I say the government is not funding them, it is funding them, but it's not funding enough. Whatever they are funded, the funding given is to maintain infrastructure and the capital investment. It's not for frontline service. So the building is there. There are some activity there, but patients are not getting service because there is not enough money for frontline service. That is the problem with the government. The government is the cause, is responsible for that because of politics. Bad politics, which says public sector is bad, private sector is good. The Labour Party, if they are who they say they are, then they should come clean to the British people and they should start telling the truth. And if they don't, then you, the British people, have to take responsibility to tell the truth. Go and tell the truth what is happening to you. If you keep quiet, that is, you are also part of the problem. You will be counted with the wicked and you will suffer. But innocent people will also suffer. Innocent people who speak out the truth will also suffer. We will all suffer. If it comes to death, we will all die. Because we play games with our life, we are going to suffer. And suffering leads to death. We are now seeing different things happening, diseases. Like we are seeing strange diseases happening in Africa. COVID-19, we saw it. Long COVID now, the after effect, the effect of vaccination is killing people. So we practice violence. We are going to be more violent even. Whatever we have, we are going to use it for violence. And we are going to see strange things happening in our life. We will suffer in ways we will not even believe. We will create a society where people will beg somebody to kill them. Because you see, we are going to create a society of horror. And this is what I'm talking about. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. As always, but if you don't even think, just rest. Rest in peace or rest in pieces. Take your choice. I say speak out because that's why you are there. You are there, you know the truth. Speak out the truth. And for those people who think immigrants are the problem, be quiet because you know nothing about immigrants. If you are British, if you are born in this country or you are not born in this country, you are white or black, you think foreigners are the one creating problem in your country. Be quiet because you don't know what you are talking about. You don't know what you're doing. If you are a criminal, you want to commit crime on the street, do not use the name of immigrants. Immigrants are, if they do something wrong, the type of wrong they commit is the same with the type of wrong the British people commit. They are humans. If you have hatred for immigrants, you have hatred for a human being, for humanity, which means you have a problem. I mean, hatred for immigrants tells more about yourself than about immigrants, because you are the one who is practicing hatred for them, and your ignorance will actually cause a lot of problems, create a lot of problems in your life, and this is the real world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so grateful that you have been watching, and it's time to speak, and that's why I'm here. If you think speaking makes sense and it is people should speak, then join me. If you think you should keep quiet and just hope something is going to happen, your problem is going to be solved, somebody else is going to solve the problem for you, you sit there and wait. You will wait for ever. We are seeing the signs now. Schools are closing down. Healthcare. The government doesn't know what it is talking about. Because if you live your life in this country, you don't need the government to tell you that you are sick and you cannot get medical support. You don't need the government to know the cost of food is unaffordable. You are in debt. You don't need the government to tell you you're in debt and you can't pay your debt. You are being evicted from your home and you don't get public housing, even if you are eligible for public housing. You don't need the government to tell you that. You are the authority. Because these things are written on the wall. You shut your eyes and bury your head in the sand at your own risk. You are invited to do a research, take responsibility for your life, and speak. You don't need many people. I am speaking alone. If you are two speaking now, our voices would be stronger than when I speak alone. But I'm not afraid to speak alone, so you can also speak. Tell the truth. If you want to lie, also speak lies. But you will be counted with the wicked and you will suffer more than people who speak the truth. You would rather suffer in power than in pain or in fear. And that's what I've chosen to do. Everybody suffers, everybody dies. But we would rather suffer in power than in pain and in fear. You make your choice, you take your choice. Whether you're black or white, male or female, young or old, it's your choice. You're on your own. The government is shut down. What you see are ghost towns and ghost images. The substance of the government is gone. So you should now start figuring out how to look after yourself. Stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much. So we're talking about
some see the original, mighty the god, the magical radical. Hey, representing my magical. Young Jose, come milli. Yanda me go wacha, gal defta. Kina teach me kenyo la me go kopa. Gal wacha, kina dame chini kenyo la me go wacha. Gal defta, kina teach me kenyo la me go kopa. Gal defta, kina dame chini kenyo. Gal toje kamele mele, deya, eja kamandeya, we are there for the bed. We have a day, you're my baby. Every day I call you my door, you're my treasure. Baby, got no machina, yo. Baby, quackana, yo. When it's over to Koda, baby, got the machina. Baby, got your quara. You must say bandana. You must say bandana. You must say bandana. Baby, got no tema, come and quackana. Motema, come and quackana. Motema, come and put it on my baby. When Motema, come and call you my lover. Baby, got no chawa, no. Baby, got no chawa.
So we are in a good mood. Today we are talking about statutory sick pay, and we are talking about other related issues. When you are working in the United Kingdom, or if you are also being paid, you always work, you get paid. As always, and it is what it is. So if you already get benefits and tax credit. We talk about tax credit. Tax credit is benefit from the tax office, but it's paid by the Department of Work and Pension. I have to check this information about tax credits. I think it is assessed by the Department of Work and Pension or paid by the tax office, but I think it is paid by the Department of Work and Pension and assessed by the tax office. It is get paid in relation to your working status. That information is enough. You can read more in detail. Every time I read about tax credit, something happens. It just get out of my head. There are certain information where it doesn't matter how many times I read, I have to look at it again to check who pays. I think the Department of Work and Pension, I think, tax credits. But it has to do with your work. If you work a certain length of time, you get paid. If you get, I think it also has to do with how much money you earn. If you earn a certain level, if you work a certain hours, if you work less than a certain hour, you don't get it. So it's also, you got tax credit, which is also composed of child tax credit and also working tax credit. These are benefits. Talk about other benefits are treated differently because these other tax credit is related to your work. Other benefits may or may not be related to your work. That's why I say the system of benefit is really complicated. There are so many all over the place. So you will still get your working child tax credit, like that's what I said now. When you are getting statutory sick pay, so you get depend on your circumstances. You can still get statutory sick pay. You can get child tax credit. You can get your working tax credit as well. But these are temporary. Some sick pay, child tax credit, and working tax credit are dependent on whether you work or not, and they are temporary support. So some benefit might increase while your pay is less than usual, because they are means tested. I mean, if you get more money, you get less benefit. If you get more money in pay, you get some benefits increasing. So you should tell the Department of Work and Pension at the office about your illness. We talk about illness and see if you're eligible to get more money. So normally it's about communication, it's about diligence. Some of these, increasingly you have to do it yourself. You have to go online, get internet, and do some of these things yourself. So you can also check if you can get a tax refund. Sometimes you get paid, you pay tax rather, and it is refundable. Especially if you're off sick, if you have been off sick, you might be able to get a tax refund. And you still pay you still pay tax and national insurance when you get sick pay. So if your pay is less than usual, you might find you are paying too much tax and can get some back. This is the information, national insurance and tax. And I don't know the difference between tax and national insurance, but I would say both are a form of tax. You pay something. For me, it's easy, but national insurance is specifically different from tax. And all this technicality, you just. So yeah, if your pay is less than usual, you might find you are paying too much tax, and can get some of your taxes back. You will usually get a letter from the HMRC, the tax office, saying you are paid too much tax and national insurance contribution, but this might take a while to arrive. And that's straightforward to me. So if you think you are paid too much tax while off sick, you can check how to claim a tax refund on gov.uk. As always, you go and look it up and see if you can get help. If you are struggling with the living cost, if you're struggling with money, there are things you can do to save on your regular living costs. Check what to do if you need help with the living costs. If you're finding it hard to pay your bills, you can get help. Find out more about getting help with your bills. You can also get help with debts. As this, if you are struggling to pay for food, find out how to get help from Food Bank. As always, thank you so much for coming along, and we will be meeting next time to continue on the topic of sick pay, and we'll look at a different dimension of sick pay, and we will look at what sick pay is and the mechanisms, the issues associated with sick pay, and also how actually to get sick pay, the process of getting it. We're going to discuss it next time we meet. God's willing. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed before, and if you subscribe, watch the video and share with family and friends. Leave a comment in the comment box, clicking like and click notification bell so that you can get notified for a new video. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.
Good morning.